October 6th, 2012, Saturday. At 0600, Connors was knocking at Midas' door. Midas slowly got out of bed in his pajamas. His balance and speed came to him quickly as he opened the door. "It's 0600. In the morning," Midas said. "I know. Time to exercise. Hurry up," Connors said. "On vacation?" "This isn't vacation. It's your individual training time. You have 30 seconds to be dressed." Connors shut the door and Midas scrambled for his light nano uniform. "Ready to go," Midas said to Connors as he opened his door. "Good. Let's go." "Can we walk? I have a question from last night." "Sure. What's on your mind?" "Why didn't you tell Dr. DeClute about me? If she was on the first team of 6 with you, you must trust her." "I do trust her. What I don't trust are all the mind readers we have here at Alpha. Your mental shield is coming along, and mine is already too strong for anyone to get in. Some secrets you can't tell to people who can have their mind read." "Really? So, who am I supposed to trust?" "That is the big question, isn't it? The question everyone would like answered." "I don't have a good answer for you. When my parents found out what my handle was as a superhero, I had a telepath wipe it from their minds." "You did that to your own parents?" Midas asked in shock. "I was making enemies during the war. If they had a way of finding my parents, they would have been used against me. I couldn't think of a way that it wouldn't end badly, so I closed the hole. I had my telepath friend erase all knowledge of who I was before from everyone that wasn't me." "What about your telepath friend? Does that person still know?" "Yes," Connor said softly. "Then there is someone who does know where your parents are." "My mother was retired on a trip to see the world. Her plane went down over the Atlantic. I was helping Shogun set up his Tokyo Hall that day. My father died in the war, so I'm not worried that one person knew who they were." Connors and Midas stopped at the edge of the pit. "I'm sorry," Midas said quietly. "Don't be. It all happened before you were born. Get your grav suit on." Midas felt funny working out alone with Connors. The workout was the same, but without the rest of the team, it just felt wrong. After getting cleaned up and eating breakfast, Midas and Connors were back in the pit. Connors had a few things in a bag as the two of them stood alone. Midas kept shifting back and forth in his new heavy armor. "Here, this is the first thing you need to learn," Connors said as he held up a snow globe. "Take your helmet off." Midas took his helmet off and looked at the globe. "I can make one of these easy." "Fine, make one." Midas replicated the globe and handed it to Connors. "Here." Connors took the globe and shattered it with his grip. "Make one I can't break." "I can't do that." "Yes, you can. Make another one." Connors waited while he did. "Now look." Connors shook the globe and the snow swirled around. "Feel into the glass and water. Feel it moving around. Then use your power to hold everything still." Midas tried and tried. Finally, he made a chair grow up out of the ground underneath him. Connors was silent while he worked on the globe. "I did it!" Midas shrieked. Connors took the globe from him and looked at the snow held in place. He tapped it with his fingers and the glass held. "That's a start." Connors pitched the globe at the side of the pit and it shattered. "Why did you do that?" "Why didn't you keep it from breaking?" "It flying through the air shouldn't have broken your connection with it," Connors pointed out. "Now make 3 globes and make all of them still." Midas did, and Connors took them to the side of the pit. He placed a 2-ton block on top of each one. "What are you doing?" "Your power and mind can be trained to concentrate on more than one thing at a time. That's the first thing we need to do. I want you to do your best to keep those strong and safe." Connors looked into his bag and pulled out a spray can. "This will make dust in the air you can see. I want you to make a hard piece of air. I'll wait." Connors stood silently as Midas used the spray again and again. The frustration grew on his face as he tried harder and harder. The glass globes broke under the weight of the steel blocks. "I can't do it." "Yes, you can. The molecules are too far apart. Besides, I can't keep those globes going." Midas pointed to the shattered glass and water off to the side. "And concentrate on this." "Was the glass strong enough to hold up that weight?" "No." "Did you make the glass stronger?" "No, I just held the molecules in place." "Then do that. It doesn't make a difference how far apart the particles are. What does make a difference is you knowing you can do it." Midas kept using the spray can until he made a piece of dusty air become solid. Midas stared at the air floating in front of him. It moved like a balloon in the air. Connors reached out and grabbed the air. "See, I told you. Now, make a few more of these and we can put them where the globes were." Midas spent the day doing similar drills with water, air, earth, and pretty much anything that could be brought to the pit. The sun was setting when Connors changed the drill. I'm going to produce lightning. I'll fire it from me to that side of the pit. I want you to hold it still. Freeze it in the air. Can I do that? Midas asked in amazement. Sure, matter and energy are interchangeable. You'll see. Connors stepped back and fired lightning from himself to the other side of the pit. Midas cringed at the flash in front of him. He kept his eyes closed and reached down for his helmet. With his visor protecting his eyes, he felt for the energy in front of him. It was violent and fast, like trying to grab fire with your hands. Midas thought this was an impossible task. Connors kept electricity flowing from his hands for over 30 minutes. The lightning had welded and burned its way through the side of the pit. The heat would have burned Midas if not for his new armor. This is impossible, Midas said as he dropped his hands. Connors stopped making lightning and walked over to the boy. How are you trying to do this? I was trying to grab the lightning with my power, but it was too quick. Connors thought for a moment. Maybe you should try to take it as a whole piece and ignore the speed. What do you mean? Think of it as one thing and just grab it by the ends. Think of it as water sprayed from a hose. It starts at my hands and ends over there. Treat it as one thing. You don't sound very sure, Midas said. You're the first Omni that I've ever trained. I'm just using what I know about other superheroes in Omni and mashing it all together. Try again. Connor stepped back and started to make lightning again. Midas closed his eyes and concentrated on the flow of energy from Connor's hands to where it struck the side of the pit. It did seem easier to think of it as a whole thing. Start from the source, he thought to himself. You did it! Connors yelled. Midas opened his eyes to see the dimmer lightning held in place, like it was frozen in time. That is so cool! We have another hour before it gets dark. Let's keep up with this drill, Connors said as he stood back and started throwing lightning bolts one after another at the wall. Midas had just finished putting the pit back together, and Connors called him up to the edge of the pit. If you wear your heavy armor, I can fly you home for the rest of the weekend. Really? Midas said with excitement. Really, just no powers are talking about being an Omni. You can't show off or do anything overly exciting that would make you want to use your powers. Deal? Deal! Get cleaned up, Connors said. I'll go just like this. I didn't do anything to sweat. I just thought a lot. Plus, this armor is air-conditioned. It is? Jet made tactical armor. Jilly is making comfortable armor. I could take a nap in this. It's about 0830 there on a Saturday morning. I can pick you up in 38 hours. Would that be good? Any time would be great. Are we taking a Sparrow? Is your armor sealed? Connor said with a smile. Yeah? Let me show you how you will be able to fly someday, Connor said as he grabbed the young Alpha under the armpits. Midas thought gravity should be ripping him apart as he saw the Earth move away from him. The planet seemed to spin underneath the both of them as they dove down toward America. The mitten shape of Michigan filled his eyes as the ground came up on them so fast it made Midas flinch. We're here, Connor said calmly as he set Midas on the ground. Midas opened his eyes to see them standing behind his garage and looking onto his backyard. What if someone would have seen us? That whole trip was less than 10 seconds, and I slowed down for your sake. Point is, regular people can't see something that fast. What about the military? I don't give off a signature that can be tracked. I'll explain that sometime. Go enjoy your family. Wait, I want you to come in and meet them, Midas said. I don't think I should. This is your time. You don't have to stay. Just say hello. That way you can explain this thing I'm wearing. Midas rubbed his hands up and down his armor. Take the helmet off. Midas took the helmet off and knocked on the door. Mrs. Pringle came to the door and saw her boy. Joseph! She screamed as she opened the door and hugged her son. Hi, Mom, he said as he hugged back. This is my coach. His name is Mr. Connors. Pleased to meet you, Mr. Connors. She held out her hand for him to shake. Connors paused as he looked at the hand before shaking it. I'm very pleased to meet you too, Mrs. Pringle. You have a special boy here. I know we do. Come in, she said as she opened the door wide and brought them into the kitchen. Is he here for the rest of his vacation? Till tomorrow night at 10 in the evening. I'll be back to get him then. He's been working so hard I just wanted to let him come home for a bit, Connors said. Joseph! Midas' little brother Alex yelled. Alex! Midas said as he caught his little brother in midair. This is a cool spacesuit. Do you have one for me? Midas looked up at Connors and asked, Can I make him one? No powers at home, remember? Connors said. But you're here. Please? Alex said as he grabbed at Connors' pant leg.